Welcome, we're in chapter 4 now, and we're at lesson 1. How can I communicate? Multiplication is our essential question. Our lesson today is multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. And as we learned at the end of chapter 3, a multiple of a number is the product of that number and any whole number. Any number that is divisible by 10 is a multiple of 10. You can use multiples and number patterns to multiply. So the multiples are those in the row of the multiplication chart. So remember we looked at the 7s, 7, 14, 21, 28. Those are all multiples. If you count by, say count by 2s, those are the multiples of 2. And example 1. The whale shark is the world's largest fish. Its mouth is 5 feet long and each foot contains 600 teeth. How many teeth does a whale shark have? So I have highlight information I need. Mouth is 5 feet long. Each foot contains 600 teeth. And each is going to be a key word that I want to highlight. Okay, and our question is, how many teeth does a whale shark have? And the best way to solve this is to go back to the basic fact. And the basic fact for 5 times 600 is 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. And now, if we're not doing times 6, we're doing times 60. It's going to be 300. And one way to look at it is we're just adding a 0, but the other way I want you to think of it is moving the decimal. So in this number, the decimal would be here. And so we're moving the decimal over here. It's important to start thinking about that because when you start getting into multiplying decimals, knowing how many times to move it is a good practice, basically. But you don't have to worry about that quite yet. Just think about it. So 5 times 600 would be 3,000. Because we're taking 30 and we're moving the decimal twice, or we're adding 2 zeros. So 30 is our basic fact. 2 place values gives us 3,000. So a whale shark has 3,000 teeth. And the product of our basic fact has 2 extra zeros at the end. So now we've got 3 times 7,000. We went back to the basic fact. 3 times 7 is 21. And so 3 times 70 would be 210. 3 times 700 would be 2,100 or 2,100. And 3 times 7,000 would be 21 with 3 place values moved or 3 zeros added, which is 21,000. So 3 times 7,000 is 21,000. And on page 198, when you know basic facts and number patterns, you can multiply mentally. And that is what our goal is. But again, because we're showing our work and we're still learning this, we are writing out our thoughts until we've got mastery of this. So we're still going to show the work, and we're still going to write all the steps, even though our goal is to be able to do this all in our head. So example 3. The weight of a fire truck is 8 times 4,000 pounds. What is its weight in pounds? Let W represent the weight. So now we've got a variable, weight. Write an equation. W equals 8 times what? Well, if I highlighted my problem, weight of a fire truck is, it tells us the equation right there. 8 times 4,000. 8 times 4,000. And because we're going back to our basic fact, 8 times 4 is 32. And yes, hopefully you can jump down in your mind and know what your answer here is going to be, but let's show all of our thoughts and show all of our work. Now we've got 32 hundreds, so we need show 2 zeros, and 32 thousands is what our original problem asked. Notice that the product is 8 times 4 with 3 zeros at the end. Since 8 times 4,000 is 32,000, that means W equals 32,000. So the weight of the fire truck is 32,000 pounds. And you are going to do the same strategy with each step through your independent work. And I'm at page 199 right now. I wanted to point out something. When you start getting to problem number 17, it changes it up a little bit. Everything before that, they give you the factors, and you need to find the product. Here they're changing that a little bit. If the 6 times 7 is 42, then 6 times what is 4,200. So you need to find what that other factor is. And you know, because our basic fact is still there, 6 and 42, you know it's going to be a 7. But the question is how that 7 is going to change to get this change in your answer. And hopefully you can see what that change is.